Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, madam.
यार वो पेन देना वहां रखा हो पेन और एक पानी पिलाई पड़ो। हाँ थोड़ा कम।
योशन राजपाल मैडम ने ज्वाइन किया है.
Yes, sir, I am here.
Okay, right. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Asha sir, are you there? Asha sir, are you there?
हाँ सर। हाँ, खिड़की का बाजू में बैठ के सीपी आवाज कर रहा है। हाँ, घर में बैठ के तो सब ठीक ठाक ना। अच्छा सर, मैं एक तो मेल करूंगा अभी अभी मतलब आज नहीं तो कल टू ऑल पार्टनर्स कंसर्न that everyone should little bit an initiative to get business and what should be the perspective plan. That is more important, sir. I know I should take maximum pressure, but others at least should
वो मैडम को फोन लगाओ, चलाई क्या नहीं वो मैडम से।
Raju Iyer sir, namaskar sir. This is Praveen Jain from IGNU.
नमस्कार सर, हर्षद देशपांडे.
नमस्ते नमस्ते.
And namaskar sir. How are you sir?
सर,
Raju sir.
Good evening to everybody. And I'm just switching off my camera and as well as my.
Raju sir, this is your baby. We are moving forward.
Yeah.
नमस्ते राजू सर.
Raju sir, good evening. Very nice to see you here.
Thank you. Thank you. ಇವರು ಸತ್ತು ಕೂಡ
Good evening sir. Nageswara sir.
Good evening. Good evening.
ಗುಡ್ ಈವ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಸರ್. ಗುಡ್ ಈವ್ನಿಂಗ್. ಗುಡ್ ಈವ್ನಿಂಗ್.
Good evening.
Good evening, Ravi sir.
Good evening, sir.
ಗುಡ್ ಈವ್ನಿಂಗ್.
Sir, we are blessed.
Pranam sir. Namaskar sir. All dignitaries are present over here, huh? President and, huh?
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್ ಸರ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now the new office bearers have come up, na?
ಯಾ ಯಾ.
Ah.
ಎಸ್ ಎಸ್ ಎಸ್.
Sir, namaskar. Harshad Deshpande,
Namaskar.
council member. I am also chairman of this agriculture cost management.
Arey wow. Very good. Very good. Very good.
Sir, pleasure to be you with us, sir.
Ah.
Asha sir is taking forward the mantle of Raju sir and Dr. Murthy.
ಕೂಪಿಟ್ರ.
Raju Iyer is still president or?
ನೋ ನೋ. ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್.
Acha, you have completed your term. So who is the president right now?
Sir, Mr. Ashwin Dalwadi is the president.
Acha, Achin Dalwadi.
So actually, he was to join today, but he has undergone some surgery.
Arey,
So
arey.
that is
Acha.
why perhaps he is not available. But our vice president sir is there,
Okay, okay.
Mr. BB Naik from Odisha.
Acha, he's from Odisha.
Yes, sir. From Bhubaneswar.
But you all have chosen right topic, and that too on a right occasion.
Sir, it is our Chava sir who is before anything. So we generally sir conduct this webinars on every third Friday. So he said that now see there is a Farmers Day, so we will organize this.
Sir, namaskar.
Namaskar, namaskar. जी जी जी।
नमस्कार वाइस प्रेसिडेंट।
हाँ हाँ, अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा।
सर आपका म्यूट है सर, अनम्यूट कर लो।
नहीं है।
मैडम नमस्कार।
हाँ नमस्कार
नमस्ते नमस्ते
जी,
नमस्ते।
नमस्ते।
नमस्कार टू ऑल।
नमस्ते सुमित्रा मैडम।
शुरू करें सर।
हाँ हाँ, प्लीज स्टार्ट करिए जी।
राजपाल मैडम।
Thank you, sir.
नमस्कार।
Good evening, everyone. Namaskar, everyone. I welcome you all to this webinar on the eve of Farmers' Day. The topic of today's webinar, as Vice Chancellor Sir has rightly said, it's a nice topic that is putting the farmers first, agriculture cost management as the core success factor. This webinar is jointly organized by the Institute of Cost Accountants of India and Indira Gandhi National Open University, that is IGNOU. Before we move forward, let's pray to Almighty for enlightening our path. It's time for our Institute's theme song.
तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति।
Now it's time to listen IGNOU anthem.
जन जन का विश्वविद्यालय सरल सुगम शिक्षा का आलय जन जन का विश्वविद्यालय जन जन का विश्वविद्यालय ज्योत जलाए ज्ञान की स्वाध्याय की अनुसंधान की राह दिखाए वंचितों को शिक्षा के अधिकार की ना उम्र का कोई बंधन ना बंदिश परिधि की घर घर है बना शिक्षा का देवालय यह जन जन का विश्वविद्यालय जन जन का विश्वविद्यालय जन जन का मान है सम्मान है पहचान है जन जन का मान सम्मान पहचान है राष्ट्र का आह्वान है अभिमान है अभिमान है राष्ट्र का आह्वान वरदान अभिमान है सर्वसुलभ सर्वोत्तम शिक्षा का है वाला मुक्त और दूरस्थ शिक्षा का कमाल जन जन का विश्वविद्यालय जन जन का विश्वविद्यालय देश विदेश पटल पर भूषित नवाचार से सज्जित गुणवत्ता से परिपूरित ज्ञान वाणी ज्ञान दर्शन ज्ञान कोश सर्वगुण संपन्न शिक्षा का हिमालय शिक्षा का हिमालय यह जन जन का विश्वविद्यालय जन जन का विश्वविद्यालय
Thank you, friends. Friends, farmers, the food growers, help the society in physical healthy survival. The taste and colors of our complete food palettes are gift from farmers. To give back the glory that farmers rightly deserve, the Institute of Cost Accountants of India had created an Agri task force in 2020 that is now converted into Agri Cost Management Board. I will invite the chairman of the Agri Cost Management Board, CMA Harshad Deshpande, to welcome all the dignitaries on the virtual dais and members and students of the IGNU and Institute. Before that, I will briefly introduce CMA Harshad Deshpande, a young and dynamic practicing cost accountant, insolvency professional, and registered valuer, independent director and social auditor. He is Central Council member of the Institute and chairman of the Agri Cost Management Board. Over to CMA Harshad Deshpande.
Thank you very much, Joseph.
You're muted.
Sir, we
Definitely,
are
you are
not able
muted.
to hear you.
Yes, madam.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity and for introduction. So good afternoon, everybody, and I welcome you for this webinar on this very eminent topic, that is the putting the farmers first, the agri cost management as the core success factor. So as a agriculture, our institute, we have formed one agricultural cost management board, which has been formed 2 years back. So I'm really glad that at that point of time Raju sir was the president, and he is today available with us. So sir, thank you very much for this initiative, and I'm really honored to have a very distinguished guest, our CMA Nageshwar Rao sir, who happens to be a vice chancellor of IGNU, and also Sumitra madam, who is a pro vice chancellor of IGNU, to be here, along with our vice president BB Nayak sir. So welcome all of you, sir, for this lovely evening. And this is our series of webinars. So this is the third webinar in the series. So earlier we had organized two webinars. So one was on the topic of sugar. So many cooperative and private sector uh, players are, this is sugar season, so we wanted to have insight about how the next season is going to be. So we had organized one program on it. Last month we had a program, very unique program on the pricing of agri pricing, that is the tomatoes and onions. So we have seen that how the fluctuations are happening in the pricing. So on the one other side, the consumers is losing, on the other side the farmers may lose. So we have to strike a balance. So this is in continuation of that series, and we thought this is a good opportunity. Tomorrow is the Farmers Day, so on the eve of our Farmers Day, we are going to commemorate this day, and we are having very eminent personalities. So I welcome you all. So friends, this challenges. What are the challenges which are faced by this agriculture? So in the era where the global challenges such as climate change, resource scarcity, and population growth are reshaping the agriculture landscape, it is crucial to prioritize the well-being of our farmers while ensuring the sustainability of our food systems. The challenges faced are typically the multifaceted challenges, which includes unpredictable weather patterns, fluctuating market prices, and rising input costs. The farmers being front of our food production often hear the brunt of these challenges and affecting their livelihoods and overall stability of the agriculture industry. So the agri cost management plays a very important, crucial role. So it involves the optimizing the allocation of resources to maximize the efficiency and minimize the waste. By strategically managing the costs, the farmers can enhance their productivity and profitability, making agriculture more viable and sustainable occupation. Empowering farmers through the knowledge and technology. So this is going to be the key while doing this agri cost management. So it gives there are very different ways like access to information and technology, which will play a crucial role in the effective cost management. Introduction to farmers to modern agriculture practices, that is a precision farming and innovative technologies, use of drones can empower them to make informed decisions and reduce unnecessary expenses. The It also has a role in promoting the sustainability practices. So sustainable agriculture is not only environmentally friendly but also economically sound. Encouraging the adoption of organic farming, conservation, tillage, and integrated pest management can contribute to the cost reduction in long run. Of course, it has to be needed and supported by the government and its policies. The government has to implement the policies that will support the farmers in managing their costs effectively. The subsidies, insurance programs, and financial assistance can act as a crucial mechanisms to alleviate the financial burden on the farmers. So, in conclusion, the putting the farmers first is not just a moral imperative, but a strategic necessity for sustainable future agriculture. Agri cost management should be at the core of our efforts to ensure that the farmers are not only survive but thrive in the face of evolving challenges. By embracing the innovative technologies, promoting sustainable practices, the implementing the supportive practices, we can create agricultural landscape where the well-being of farmers is prioritized and the entire community reaps the benefits of resilient, prosperous food system. So let us join hands together in this endeavor and work towards the future where the success of agriculture begins with the putting the farmers first. So, friends, with this, I would like to just conclude, but I will go without recognizing the efforts of our Praveen Kumar sir. He has been the chief of School of Agriculture. So also I welcome you, sir, and he is being one of the key player or key participant in this arranging webinar. So I thank all of you. I also thank Uni Management for joining hands for the betterment of the farmers. So with this, I conclude the address. So I request Josna Madam to take it forward.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for a warm welcome. Friends, in line with the noble objective of doubling the farmer's income, the Institute gave four-pronged theme drivers to evolve ways and means of strategic agri cost management under the chairmanship of our past president, Shri P. Raju Iyer, sir. These drivers are educating, empowering, enhancing, and enriching the farmers. In this journey, first step is educating the farmers. To take this step, we have joined hands with IGNU to spread our specialty of cost management to agriculture sector. Dr. Praveen Kumar Jain has been associated with this project since very beginning. He has guided us at every step, and due to his constant support, we could organize this program also, and we could do lot much about this in this field. Now I request Dr. Praveen Kumar Jain, professor at IGNU School of Agriculture, to share his presentation. Over to Dr. Jain.
थैंक यू मैम. नमस्कार सभी को. नमस्कार. प्रोफेसर नागेश्वर राव सर, ऑनरेबल वाइस चांसलर इग्नू, the president of Institute of Cost Account of India, Sri Ashwin Talwadi ji, the vice president of the ICMI, Vibhuti Bhushan Naik ji, our PVC ma'am, Professor Sumitra Kukreti ma'am, other PVC of IGNUs, directors of the School of different schools, and the regional directors, the dignitaries from the Institute of Cost Accountant of India, and all other present in this webinars. I also welcome on behalf of the School of Agriculture and the IGNU in this national webinar on the putting the farmers first, agri-cost management as the core success factor. The School of Agriculture is one of the 21 school of study in IGNU. The school offers various programs, in the various entrepreneurial and skill aspects, starting from awareness programs to the MSc programs we are offering. We have the 5 certificates program in the area of the beekeeping, the poultry farming, organic farming, agriculture, water harvesting. Then we have the 5 diploma programs in the food processing areas and the watershed. We have the program on the horticulture. Then there are diplomas are there in the food safety and quality management. We have the agribusiness management programs. We have the MSc programs. We have the agriculture policy program. So there are 15 programs in the School of Agriculture who are mainly targeting the very skill aspects or vocational aspect of agriculture sectors. And this national webinar is basically to commemorate the National Farmers Day, which is organized, which is celebrated every year on the birth anniversary of our fifth Prime Minister, Chaudhry Charan Singh Ji. And he was the farmers' leader. He has he has contributed a lot in in improving the farmers' economy. He was the agriculture minister of the UP in 1952, and then he brought the policies on the land reforms and various instruments related to pricing in agriculture sectors. So there are a lot of contribution from the Chaudhry Charan Singh ji, and so this is day to celebrate the birth anniversary of our fifth Prime Minister. And this webinar is basically is to create awareness or to give a thanks to our farming community, because the farming communities contributed a lot in these countries. They work around the clock, around the years, so that our people, 140 crore peoples, they get the food, and they basically provide the guarantee that the people will not, uh, uh, you know, st- strive to death because of the food. So the hard works done by the farmers. This is basically Thanksgiving Day to the farmers. And generally, the regarding the topic, the generally focus in the agriculture is on enhancing the agriculture productions, and the sometimes we also talk about the enhancing the farmers the returns, but very less deliberation on managing the cost aspects. So this webinar is basically has brought a opportunity to discuss the cost aspect, because cost is one of the component which affect the farmers economy. So let me share my PPTs to start the presentation. I'm sure PPT is available. PPT is visible to all.
Yes, sir, it's opening up, but it's not in slide show board.
Still not in slides.
No, no, no.
Just a minute. Okay, now. So the topic of my presentation is agriculture cost management strategies to enhance the farmers' income. And we are aware that the agriculture sector has made the profound growth and development in the sectors. Agriculture is a vast sector. It is characterized by the wide, varied agroclimatic conditions, which are suitable to different types of crops and the different types of enterprises. and it has contributed immensely to our national economy. So that is the another, so we can't ignore the agriculture sectors, they give basically highlights the magnitude and growth of agriculture sectors. See the large scale of agriculture sectors, about 69% of rural populations we have in the country, and we have the 119 million cultivators in the country. So this much, pupils who are totally dependent in the agriculture sectors, and about 50% of total workforce is engaged in agriculture sectors. We have the large livestock population in the countries, and about 45% of total our land is used for agriculture purpose. And the one of the major drawback we can say, or that the agriculture sector is basically the characterized by the marginal land holding. The size of land holding is very small in the country. It is less than 1 hectare, average land size in the agriculture. So about 69% of total land holding comes under the come under the marginal land holding. So that's bring a challenge to utilize the technologies in agriculture sectors. Large contribution from the agriculture sectors in the export activities. About 12% of uh, countries export is from the agriculture sector, and agriculture sector is the sector which have the net export, means the import is less in agriculture and in comparison to export. And still agriculture sector is contributing the 18%, and this 18% is basically percent share, but in absolute term this share of agriculture sector in the GVA is increasing over the period of time. And this slide shows the crop production, how much efforts have been put up by the farmers. Our food grain production, has increased more than sevenfold after the independence. All our crop production is increasing all the fields, including the pulses crops, the oil seed crops, and nutritional cereals, and the horticulture production. We are number one in the milk production. Of course, we need to increase the production in the pulses and oil seed crops, because we are still importing the pulses crop and oil seed crop. So this is the large scale of agriculture sector. Despite all these good statistics in agriculture sectors, the agriculture sector is facing various challenges, and of course there are various prospects in agriculture sectors. The most important challenge in agriculture sector right in the present time is the competitive agriculture. There are resource competition between agriculture sector with other sector. Our land is being diverted, it is being converted to other purposes. So even in the agriculture sectors there are resource competitions. The for waters, which type of crops is to be grown in the fields. So limited resources, capital resources, water resources. So a lot of competition. And the most important challenge in agriculture sector is the retaining the youth. Because of small scale holdings in agriculture, or due to the less involvement of educated people in the agriculture, and changing lifestyles, people want all types of services or facilities which may not be available in agriculture for so that's why retaining the youth in agriculture sector is a very difficult task, and it is going to be very difficult in future. But there are ways, we have to make the agriculture sector innovative and lucrative. Means we have to use the different innovative methods of production, and we have to generate the technology or the ways which empower the farmers to get the more income. So we have to make the lucratives in the agriculture sectors. And of course, all these challenges are bringing the various kind of opportunities. Or this opportunity we need to be made aware the farmers and youth in rural areas. So, there are twofold strategies we need to require to improve the farmers' economy. One is we have to work towards reducing the cost of agriculture sectors, cost of agriculture production, and another way is to enhance the returns. So net profitability we have to increase. And when we talked about the cost management in agriculture sector, we have to not only discuss the production cost, but we have to also talk about the marketing cost. Or at present, what we found in agriculture sector or farming communities, there is no way of keeping the farm record. So this type of things we have to bring in agriculture sectors. And the of course, for enhancing the returns, we have to increase the yield, we have to improve the agricultural product quality, we have to find the way to get higher prices, and basically we have to increase the farmer share in the consumer's price. So all these things we have to do, but our major focus in today's presentation is basically the cost management. And to deal the cost aspect, basically in agriculture sectors, the government try to address these issues through the agriculture pricing policies. And agriculture pricing policy basically have two components. One is the price support, another is the market intervention. For price support, the government, basically announced the minimum support prices before the start of the sowing season. And for marketing intervention, government procured the farm produce of about 23 agricultural commodities from the at the sell or distribute the food grains and other agriculture commodity to our large consumer base through the fair public distribution system. So this is the market intervention. So the minimum support prices concept is basically depend on the cost concept. So in the basically when we talk about the minimum support prices, these are the 7 important determinants or factors which affect the announcement of minimum support prices. Of course, the cost of production is the major factors. In announcing the government do the studies in the more than 10,000 experiments are there in the countries, and they estimate the cost of cultivations and cost of production. But besides the cost of production, there are other factors like demand and supplies. The uh, our pulsage oilseed production in the country is not sufficient, so we are importing the pulsage and oilseed from the other countries. So nowadays you will see that there is a more increase, the in the minimum support prices of the oilseed and pulses crops. Similarly, government also see the price trend in the market. So when you see the recent minimum support prices and we compare with the domestic prices of the agriculture commodity, we will find the almost similar trend is there. Of course, intercrop price parity is another important concept where nowadays you will see earlier the focus was more on the fine cereals, wheat and rice, but in the last 3 4 years you will find that the increase in the minimum support prices of the millet crops or nutritional crops is more. So that is another thing. So while deciding the minimum support prices, what government do basically they provide the minimum of 50% margin over the cost of production. So this cost of production concept will basically understand in the next slides. So whole things of minimum support prices of cost, dealing the cost aspects is government do through the cost concept. There are different cost concepts. So uh, cost concept are basically the what are the cost has to be included, has to be included in the estimation of the cost of cultivation. So there are cost A1, cost A2, cost B1, B2, cost C1, C2, and so there are different concepts are there. So cost A1 is basically the all the paid out cost, all the paid out expenditure for hired human labor, the value of the block labors, value of farm machineries owned and hired, the value of seed, insecticide, pesticides, manures, fertilizers, depreciation on the implements and farm buildings, the irrigation charges, land revenue, and government also calculate the interest on the working capitals. So that is also included in the cost A1. And there are some miscellaneous expenses which is also included. So these are the different cost items which are included in the cost A1. And the cost A2, which is the basis for calculating recommending the minimum support prices, which includes cost A1 plus the rent paid for the leased in land. So whatever the land, sometimes farmers they take from the the other land owners or the farmers. So whatever rent paid, that is included in the cost A2. So government basically they announce or recommend the minimum support prices on the cost A2 plus the cost of the family labor included. So actually here is the farmers what want, they also want to be included the cost of the rental value of the owner land. So but that is the part of the cost B2. So basically the present system of the recommending the minimum support prices include the cost A2 plus the value of the family labors which are included in the farming activities. So this is an example to understand the costing aspect in agriculture basically. So this is the cost estimations of the Commission for Agriculture Cost and Prices for the paddy crops in Uttar Pradesh, and the 3 years data I am presenting here. So here you will see that the operational cost, which includes the human labors here, both the hired labors as well as the family labors included. So human labor, bullock labor, machine labor, seed, fertilizers, manure, insecticide, irrigation. So operational cost is increasing every year. So here in the this is in 2019 to 20 to 2020 2021 there are about 19% increase in the operational cost for paddy crop in Uttar Pradesh. In similarly, there was about 6% increase in the operational cost of the paddy cultivation in the year 2020-21 to 2021-22. So there is a continuous increase in the operational cost of agriculture cultivation. And when we see the composition of this cost, basically you see that the major cost of cultivation is basically comes from the human labors, which is about 50% we can say. So and then the machine labor is about 15-16%, and the irrigation is cost is increasing day by day, because of the the less availability of water. They have to incur more cost on taking the water from the ground and from the land. So here farmers can do some judicious utilization of the various agricultural resources, agricultural input to optimize the cost. Because in the next slide we will see the manipulate. But in case of the operational cost, farmers can do the wonders, identifying of such technologies or such resources which help them to reduce their cost of cultivation. That type of combination the farmers can do judiciously. So this is the fixed cost. Basically, here you will see the rental value of owned land, which is about more than 75% we can say, which is at present not being included in the cost estimation of the crops which are part of the price recommendation by the government. So farmers want this cost should also be included in the the while this cost also be considered in the recommending the minimum support prices. So, but here there is a less chances because these are the fixed costs. We can't, manipulate this thing. But this is the summary table basically. So here you will see that the operational cost is increasing. First cost, the fixed cost is also increasing, and the in the blues rows basically this is the cost of cultivation. In the yellow rows you will see this is the cost of production. Cost of production is basically the cost per quintal, and cost of cultivation is basically the cost per hectare. So this A2 is basically the all payout cost plus the rental value of the leased in land. So rent paid on the lease. So this A2 cost, you will see that it is about 1200 rupees, and then when we include the family labor cost, it comes about 1500, and government announcement for the minimum support prices was 1940, 1940. So government basically, give the 50% of margin on this A2 plus FL. That is the cost basically on this C2 cost. So where the cost of the owned land should also be included. That is the farmers one. So when we see this trend, it is almost a 50% margin on the A2 FL cost. So that is the things are there. So of course every year the MSP is also increasing. So there is another interesting in trends or the factors while we do the cost estimation. The for a particular crops, some states estimate the less cost than the other states. It's like an example is here given that the actual cost of production of paddy crops, in Punjab was rupees 784, whereas in the Maharashtra this cost was 3,100. 3,101. So there is a large variation in the states, where the cost data is available, the cost of cultivation, data available. So, if minimum support price is announced for a particular crop, which is the same for all the states, but farmers, some state farmer, they incurred more cost compared to other costs. So that is the very, disappointing sometimes for the farmers that they are increasing the more cost, but they are fetching the less prices. Of course, there are various factors which are responsible for this large variation in the cost of production, like there is a difference in the production technology and practices. There are the cost of irrigations and other resources is different in different states. Of course, the productivity level is also different. Like in Punjab, the productivity of paddy is very high compared to Maharashtra. So, in this direction, basically, we have to make the efforts to improve the crop yield and promote the efficient use of input for the reduction of the production cost. And sometimes what happens, even the government estimates are different. The state estimates for cost of cultivation is different from the made by the central government, the CSCP. So that is also there. Like for bajra crops, the higher cost estimates was done by the Maharashtra and Rajasthan, and lower cost estimates of the Uttar Pradesh than the CAP. So even there is a difference in there in the estimation of difference is there in the methodology for estimation of the cost in different states. So when we talk about the cost management at the farmers levels, there are of course various strategies that can be adopted by the farmers. Like three important aspects here we can discuss. One is the change in the production system. Another is the judicious quantity of input use, and the third is the purchase management. So on these three areas, if farmers work, they will find the optimization of the cost. So for change in production system, if farmers move from monocropping system to the farming system approach, where the diversified cropping systems can be maintaining the soil fertilities by optimum utilization of water resources. And sometimes we can go for the eco-friendly farm practices like the good agriculture practices or organic farming. Then another important aspect in this direction is the judicious quantity of input, where when we use the fertilizers, we should the farmers should do the soil analysis. Of course, soil health card scheme is there, which is being implemented at larger scale. Before applying the insecticides, pesticides, the pest analysis should be done. Water requirements should be properly assessed, and the labor labor, human labor requirement is almost 50% of the total cost. So here there is a lot of scope to improve the to reduce the input use in the agriculture. Of course, there is various strategies in purchase management, advanced purchasing, the group purchasing. Here the farmers organization, the farmer producer organization can help. The farmers can enter into contact with the input suppliers, the right quality of the input, particularly in seed sectors, storage quality of seed is available. Of course, the farmers should go for budgeting on cost accounting techniques to have the control on the different costing aspect. And of course, the various new technologies like precision farming. Our chairman agriculture cost management board was also saying about the precision farming. So here, we can in here use the combination of farm practices plus AI, which can help in the precise irrigation, and the crop specific fertigation, the pest and disease control. It can be. Then of course we can go for farm input supply, and a smart farm means farmers should be encouraged to uh, keep the daily record of the activities on the and also on crop cultivation things. Of course, the farmers should adopt this soil and water conservations, through various technology. I will leave this slide here. Waste of one enterprise can be used as input for other enterprises, so it will promote the optimum utilization of the resources. And a combination of 2 3 enterprises can be used. And also, of course, there are various success strategies where we convert the waste of one in agri enterprises, and which can be used into the input for the other enterprises. So there are various success stories are available. So my submission is that the agriculture sector is country's economies, because we have to provide the food to 140 crore people in the country. We have to keep the export earning. So that's why we have to adopt some smart practices or innovations. Actually, we need to promote the agriculture sectors, from farm to business. So where the farmers will be aware about the all costing aspect, or pricing aspect, or profitability aspect. We need to promote the innovations to improve the farm productivity and generate more profit and income in agriculture sector. Of course, the productivity gap, because there is a large difference between the potential yield and the actual realized productivity. Of course, here we have to also consider the cost aspect while uh, getting the higher yield. We need to promote the investment in agriculture research and development, because costing aspect are not much discussed, but we have to promote this costing. Agricultural credit, farm mechanization, crop insurance, they always help in the reducing the risk as well as the making available the old technology slowly towards digital agriculture. However, there is challenges in utilizing the digital agriculture in agriculture where we have the small scale holding. So that is the challenges, and all this the to make the aware the farmers about the costing aspect or cost management aspect. The IGNU and the Institute of Cost Account of India have entered into the collaborations to develop the diploma in agricultural cost management. And the cost management is the important strategy for developing the farmers economy. The it will bring the resource efficiency in agriculture sector. It will save the lot of cost of input, reduce the cost of production in agriculture sectors. So with these objectives, we are developing the diploma in agriculture cost management. And this program is the content is of this program have been developed. We will be soon printing the course, and this program will be started from the January 24 session. So with this, I thank you all for patience hearing. Thank you very much. Over to Josna
Thank
Rajpal.
you. Thank you, Dr. Jain. Friends, the torch of Agri Task Force was ignited by Raju sir, and it was further carried by our President CMA Vijender Sharma and now our President CMA Ashwin Dalwadi sir. We always had able and experienced seniors to guide the task force from time to time. Also, we had a constant guiding force for all these years, available 24 by 7, whether it is celebration of National Farmers Day, celebration of Agriculture Month, or conducting national seminar, or signing MOU with IGNU or Vanamati, or preparing study material, etc. A rock solid support is always behind us in the form of CMA Dr. Srihari Chava. CMA Dr. Chava is an active farmer, accomplished professional, with more than 50 years of hands on experience, a passionate author with more than 10 books and many research articles to his credit, sought after teacher and orator, a postdoctorate in commerce and management, and source of inspiration to everyone. Now, I take the opportunity to invite Bhishma Pitama of Agri Cost Management, CMA Dr. Srihari Chava, member Agri Cost Management Board, to enlighten us with his presentation about the farmer first, Agri Cost Management, a key success factor. Over to CMA Dr. Chava.
Can I have a minute, please?
Yes, sir.
Am I visible?
Yes, sir.
Respected dear CMA Raju sir, I'm taking your name first, sir, because you have been the guiding force, you have been the first chairman of Agri Task Force, then you are the president, and you have also been the first chairman of Agri Cost Management Board. It's heartening to see you on this forum, sir. Greetings to you. Then we also have Honorable VC CMA Professor Nageswara sir, who has been blessing us from the year 2020 when we have started the task force. He is one person who has been constantly and persistently with us in pursuing our ambitions in terms of agri cost management. We have CMA Harshad Deshpande, present chairman of Agri Cost Management Board, who is vibrant, resourceful, and always supporting. We have Madam Sumitra Provisi, who has been pursuing the evolution of diploma in agricultural cost management for the past 2 years on a continuous basis untiringly. Dear friend, Dr. Praveen Kumar Jain, who has enlightened us with his nice presentation. And in fact, he has done half of my job. I'm very grateful to you, Jain sir, and our members of the Agri Cost Management Board, President CMA Ashwinji in absentia, and Vice President Vibhudiji, CMA Vibhudiji in absentia, Central Council members who are present in the fora, dear professional colleagues, dear students, and dear farmers. Namaste. On the occasion of National Farmers Day 2023. We bring greetings from the Agricultural Cost Management Board of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, as also IGNO. Friends, as you recall, a farmer wakes up at 4 o'clock in the morning, goes to bed at 10 o'clock in the evening, day in and day out basis, 365 days a year, whether it is rainy, whether it is sunny, or whether it is chilly. He goes to his fields, even if there are no crops, he watches his fields with love and affection. It is the farmer who produces grains, cereals, pulses, vegetables, and several other crops which we eat on our table deliciously. Therefore, our salutations to the Indian farmer who toils himself in tilling the fields, sowing the seeds, and reaping the crops. He leads a very, very hard life. Let us support him in whatever way we can. Again, our salutations to the Indian farmer on the occasion of National Farmers Day 2023. Dr. Jain has highlighted already several features of Indian agriculture. Thank you, Jain sir. But let us remember, we have a population of about 140 crores and we have a net sown area of cultivable land of 14 crore acres, 14 crore hectares. That means per capita sown area in India works out to 0.1 hectare. Incidentally, the number of cultivators in the country also approximate to 14 crores. That means per cultivator, the available land for tilling is just 1 hectare. Just 1 hectare. Maybe that they have been classified into marginal, large, farmers, etc., etc. But the important fact, outstanding fact, striking fact is that per capita land per cultivator is just 1 hectare, 1 hectare. And again, out of these 14 crore hectares of land also, just 50% is irrigated. In spite of our strenuous and perpetual efforts from 1947 till 2023, as of date, the irrigated land is about 7 crore hectares. That means Indian cultivators are tilling the land with 50% irrigated and 50% unirrigated. So the first predicament is the holding is very small. Number one, because the holding is small, I cannot go for huge mechanization. I'm a farmer of 2 hectares. How do you expect me to own a tractor and use the tractor? I can just at best rent the services of tractor. Therefore, perforce, I'm happy to work with my family in the field day in and day out and create self-employment for my entire family by using traditional tools of flow and other agri implements. In the process, the Indian agriculture is known to be labor intensive because of limited irrigation facilities, it has become more monsoon dependent. During monsoon season, we plant the crop mix, and then as a result, another resultant fact is low productivity. By low productivity, I mean we are not able to tap the agri potential, land potential totally, as Dr. Jain has already suggested. Then 67% of our population out of 140 crores being rural oriented, we have hidden surplus labor. The labor in villages, they are occupied partly, but the idle time is there. There is a huge potential of idle labor that can be utilized. But in spite of this, Indian farmer always has a positive outlook. You would say, I would like to till perpetually, even if I'm able to get the seeds which I have sown. I don't want much more than the seeds. Even if I keep getting to the extent of seeds, I can till for generations to come. Therefore, Indian farmer is pursued to remain an optimist, for he would like to remain a farmer for lifetime. He would like to remain a farmer for lifetime. So, greetings to the Indian farmer with all such limitations who is struggling. During the last couple of years, maybe during the last 10 years, government has developed a strategic approach to augment the farmer's income. In fact, it has been called doubling of the farmer's income during the next, say, 5, 10 years, etc., etc. The COVID has impacted us. We are not yet been able to achieve the target, but the approach remains. And friends, agriculture continues to be pursued as the wisest pursuit. It's a very clever pursuit because it will in the end contribute most to the real wealth. It is supposed to contribute most to the real wealth. I mean, we have data analyzed. 1 rupee of product generated in agriculture, that is each rupee generated in agriculture multiplies to 8 rupees in gross domestic product. If agri income is 1 rupee, national income would be 8 rupees. Data proves that fact. And because of our Indian ethics, Indian culture passed on from generation to generation, our villages cherish high morals and ever happy life. Whether I have or I don't have, as a farmer, I keep living happily with whatever we have. So, in order to encourage the farmers, in order to augment the income of the farmers, the government has evolved 4-pronged approach. Number 1 being reducing cost of cultivation. That is where CMAs are experts, that is where CMAs can extend their expertise. Not only that, number 2, ensuring profitable prices to the farmers. See, cost of cultivation is the middle line, profitable prices are the top line. Therefore, ensuring profitable prices to the farmers is also CMA forte. Then, processing of agriculture waste, that is converting agriculture waste into wealth. It's like wasteful assets to be reaped for beneficial processes. Again, CMA forte. And 4th one is creating non-farm sources of income. Look for additional revenues. Additional revenue, interest is dearer than the principal. Interest is always an addition to the bottom line. If I look at the 4-pronged strategy as a CMA, I feel everything is covered in a CMA forte. CMA is very well tuned to advise the farmer in all these 4-pronged areas. For example, as a CMA, I would always look at any cost as a resource. I do not feel that it is an expense incurred. I feel that it is a resource consumed. If that is a resource consumed, always look at it. Am I able to get higher value addition from this resource consumed? Therefore, coupled with the strategic approach of government of India or other governments, which is 4-pronged, CMA approach would add higher value addition for each unit of resource consumed in the process of agriculture. This is our CMA approach. Now, if the strategic approach and CMA approach, if they come together, definitely will be more than successful in doubling the farmer's income in the next couple of years. For this purpose, we have two fundamental perceptions. Number one, as other sciences, agriculture also needs to be pursued as the art and science of extracting maximum outputs from the limited resources such as land, labor, water, and others. We have traditional factors of production of land, labor, capital, and enterprise. But here, the same thing holds good, but the important resources are land, labor, water, and various other supplementaries. So agriculture is to be pursued. Agriculture has to be pursued. It's an art and science which facilitates, which tells us, which educates us how to make maximum use of these resources, how to optimize the utilization, how to maximize the profits from these natural resources. Then comes the agri cost management. Agri cost management refers to the adoption and application of the principles, techniques, and practices of cost management to agriculture. Friends, you would recall the profession of cost accountancy was born in 14th or 15th century when initially the industrial revolution has started. And now it spread across the manufacturing sector, it spread across various service sectors, and it has done wonders in turning around independent India into one of the major economies in the world. So why not extend these fundamentals of cost management to agriculture as well? That is why we are here, we are having this webinar, and I would venture to throw up a few conceptual explorations. A few, there are many, but I would like to throw up only a few. Always any cost management exercise starts with cost ascertainment and moves on to cost analysis. And the cost classification starts with element-wise classification. As Dr. Jain has already pointed out, there are several elements while computing the cost of cultivation. In our cost terminology, when we say material, here in agriculture, we are using seeds, manure. Manure could be organic or otherwise, fertilizers, chemical fertilizers, pesticides, etc., etc. These are the materials used. Labor. Labor can be classified as paid labor, attached labor, or family labor. Paid labor is variable cost, attached labor is a fixed cost, family labor is also a fixed burden. Direct expenses. We have several direct expenses, for example, hired bullocks or hired tractors or any other machines which are hired. Mostly these are variable expenditure. Other expenses, that is land taxes, water levies, etc., etc. Land taxes are a fixed burden, as water levy could be fixed or could be variable. Then transportation for moving the inputs as also selling the outputs, loading, unloading, interest on agri loans, interest on other agri capital. These are the operational costs which are considered in the cost of cultivation while advising the MSP. Then there are also imputed costs which Dr. Jain has already pointed out: rental value of own land, depreciation on agri implements, etc., etc. This is traditional costing. And in this traditional costing, we compute the cost. My simple question is, are we comparing the actuals with the targets? Are we comparing the actuals with the norms? No. That is where a CMA can extend his expertise and guide the farmers in terms of cost action ascertainment, analysis, and comparison with actuals vis-a-vis norms in terms of materials, in terms of labor, in terms of direct expenses, in terms of other expenses, and in terms of imputed other costs, etc., etc. What does it give us? Element-wise analysis enables understanding the intrinsic utility of these resources. These are all resources: material, labor, direct expenses, etc., etc. Cost is a resource consumed in the process of value addition. If you are adding value, the cost is used. If you are not adding value, cost is eroded. Now, this has been the traditional method, but during the last 2-3 decades, we have come across activity-based costing. We have evolved, the cost management fraternity have successfully evolved and applied activity-based cost management methods and systems. And the basic concept is product consumed activities. In order to manufacture, or in order to render a service, or in order to produce an agri product, there are certain activities. And the costs are consumed by these activities. Each activity consumes a different set of costs. They can be identified in terms of cost, in terms of value added. If you look at agriculture, we have 9 activities in general, which starts with preparation of land. Land is prepared before the agri season, preferably during summer season in India. And then sowing operations, this is a different activity. Application of nutrients at the time of preparation of land, we apply home manure, yard manure. At the time of sowing operations, we may have a little bit of fertilizers, and in a phase manner, depending upon the crop, we keep on applying chemical and natural nutrients. Then we are scared of pests, therefore dosing of pesticides over a phase manner. Similarly, clearing the weeds, as also applying weed culture over a phase manner, and water management throughout the year, whether irrigated or rain-fed, water management is also an activity. When the crop comes for reaping stage, harvest the crop, preserve the crop, and take to market for fetching better prices. Yes, we have been talking about MSP. Government supports the farmers by means of determining the MSP. But in the statistics provided by Jain sir, I find 2 things. Cost per hectare in 2019-20 was around 44,000. 2020-21, it was 52,000. 21-22, it was 55,000. The increase from 2019-20 to 2021 is abnormal at 18.7%. And from 2021 to 21-22, it is 5.8%. Why so? We have studied from the Agriculture Cost Management Board the pattern of these cost computations for some products. We found in the same state there are huge variations in computing the costs because they are not being compared with the norms. There is no second check. For example, when we went for comparison of sugarcane, in 1 year, the sugarcane seed cost was about 5,000. In the second year, it went up to 15,000, which is not possible at all, feasible at all. This inaccuracy can be avoided if we can go for the MSP computations on the basis of activity. We need to switch over this computation of cost of cultivation, which form the base for minimum support price, from traditional methods of element-wise to activity-based method. As also, we should also compare the actuals with the norm. It could be state-wise or it could be region-wise. We should have the norms, product-wise norms, product-wise cost norms. We need to evolve and compare. This is where the CMAs, as also the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, can play a vital role. Now, we ascertain the cost, we analyze the cost. How do you control? Again, I go back to Dr. Jain. He was talking about productivity. There are several factors from a CMA's perception. Ultimately, it is output. What is the value of output per quintal divided by total cost per quintal? That gives us the revenue. If the output is higher, if the numerical is 2, I'm getting 100% margin. If the numerical is 1.5, I'm getting 50% margin. If the numeral is 0.8, I'm incurring a loss of 20%. So this value of output per quintal can be broken in terms of value of output per acre, output per acre divided by cost per acre, output per kg of seeds. These are the factors, resources which have been consumed, divided by cost per kg of seeds, output per kiloliter of water divided by cost per kiloliter of water, output per kg of fertilizers, whatever it may be, divided by cost per kg of fertilizers, output per man day of labor. It could be attached, it could be hired, or it could be family, cost per man day of labor. When you analyze the cost factor-wise and compare with the norms, there could be salient outputs. So I would put it forward.
Sir, excuse me. Some Sandhya Desai has put on your. You have put on your mic. Please switch it off. Please mute yourself. It's causing disturbance. Sir, please continue.
So, friends, I would put to you all factor-wise control. There are several factors. I have shown you only a few factors. We can work out 20-25 factors. So, factor-wise control facilitates prudent deployment and optimum utilization of agri resources. Just care. 1960, the land was only 33. The geographical land of India was only 33 crore hectares. 2023, it is only 33 crore hectares. And in 2230 also, it is going to be 33 hectares. Land is the most important limited resource. So how are you going to deploy it in a prudent manner? So is water. We always often keep hearing that next World War would be for water. Friends, it is CMA who can enact, it is appropriate cost management which will enable prudent deployment and optimum utilization of agri resources. Moving forward, I'll give you a small example. Let us assume a sugarcane field, 1 acre of sugarcane field, and even though we can plant about 48,000 plants, on an average, plants per acre are 40,000 sugarcane plants. And if the weight per plant is 0.75 kg, yield per acre would be 30 tons. In India, the average yield is about 35 tons. And if the weight per plant increases to 1 kg, yield per acre would become 40 tons. And if the weight per plant increases to 1.25 kg, yield per acre would increase to 50 metric tons. In fact, there are instances in Maharashtra where the weight per plant has gone up to 2.5 to 3 kg. If the weight per plant goes up to 2.5 kg, the yield per acre goes to 100 metric tons. But while increasing the yield from 30 metric tons to 100 metric tons, what is the cost incurred? What are the costs incurred? A little on fertilizers and little on scheduling. That's all. Incremental cost could be 10% and incremental revenue is much huge. This is CMA's approach. This is what I meant by CMA looks for value addition at every stage of the activity. Higher the weight per plant, higher the yield per acre, and lower the cost per MT. That is what a weight and yield matrix of sugarcane would put forward to us. Then, once we are able to ascertain the cost, analyze the cost, control the cost, we can move on to cost transformation by means of cost reduction, cost optimization, and cost transformation. That is, Point number one of the strategic approach. Point number two, getting proper minimum support prices. We have been experiencing cotton is covered by minimum support price, soybean is covered by minimum support price, even sugarcane is covered by minimum support price. But 75% of sugar mills are sick in India. Substantial number of cotton mills are sick. Many oil processing industry, many mills in the oil processing industry have been closed. Why? Because they are not able to pay the minimum support price as advocated by government. Why? Because they are not able to generate enough revenues. Ultimate consumers, you like you and me, we are not prepared to pay 50 rupees or 60 rupees per kg of sugar. We would be able to pay at best 40 rupees. It is work backward. Therefore, it is not viable for the industry. Then what should we do? We should study the industry, as also we should study the farmer and work out a compatible price. It is desirable to adopt a differential structure for the MSP, which should be compatible to the variable conditions prevailing in the respective states and regions. Compatibility would also imply affordability by the consumers. What happens? If a sugar mill is closed, sugarcane farmers will have to switch on to some other commercial crop. In the process, they incur loans, and farmer suicides is one of the burning aspects in the country. If we can ensure a stable income, they may be getting higher income in 1 year, but after 2 years, they are getting zero income. This is to be addressed. It is not just the MSP, it is also stable income over a period of time. Therefore, I appeal to the office bearers of our DARE Institute to evolve a system whereby concept of MSP pricing can be transformed. MSP pricing is good, but it can be better by transforming it into compatible pricing, which is viable for the farmers. Farmers should have viable income, which is stable over the period. Not just 2 years I get something, for 2 years I don't get anything. And again, 5th year I get something. No, I want stability. Then affordable to the manufacturers, affordable to the manufacturing sector, and acceptable to the general consumers. Then it will be a win-win for everyone. Otherwise, we'll keep having problems, we'll keep facing farmer suicides. Third strategy, waste to wealth. Yes, it's a very good thing. You see a lot of waste. The first thing is it can be converted into compost, which is very good organic manure. Number two, it can be converted into briquettes and used as a fuel in boiler or many industrial purposes. Then, recent technologies have been advocating agri waste can be converted into biofuel. I'll come into that aspect a little later. And we have experience of converting manufacturing plywood from agri waste, rice straw to craft paper. We have bamboo to craft paper, bamboo to plywood, etc., etc. We have. But I put a small question here. We have fallow lands of 2.67 crore hectares. And the grass grown on these fallow lands, if it can be converted into fuel, biofuel, India's bill on import of oils would be zero. This is a humble submission, sir. We have 2.67 crore hectares of fallow land. The grass grown on this, can it be converted into biofuel? This is a CMA question, sir. I am not a technician, but I am a CMA. So here is an economic resource. Here is a wasteful resource which can be converted into economic utility. This is CMA's perception. Fourth arm, that is non-farm sources of revenue. The moment we say non-farm source of revenue, village and cottage industries, we have been hearing from 1947, the growth in village and cottage industries is not that worth mentioning. There is a huge and lot of untapped potential. So let us focus on that. Lijat Papad could be one small example. Vocational services, skill-based vocational services, Skill India. Let the Skill India be taken to rural populations. Let rural villages be self-sufficient with vocational services in every house. Agri education. The farmers' children learn agriculture by birth. They've been seeing agriculture from the moment they are born. Agri education shall be taught in primary schools in rural villages from primary stage itself. Agri-tourism, many European and American countries, they are making a lot of money on agri-tourism. We're happy to go to Europe and visit a farm. We are not happy to go to Vidarbha and enjoy an orange farm. That is, we have to overcome. It needs to be promoted. Agri-entertainment. Remember olden days of Katha Kathan throughout the night, where entire village population was kept entertained. Now we are more after movies, etc., etc. But agri entertainment can be a change. Kalidas Sakuntala, it was a drama. It can still be staged and advocated in villages. This is a revenue fetching area. During off season, villagers can be engaged to perform and reap some benefits. If there is a will, there is a way. If there is a scope, there is always additional income for the farming and other communities. Moving forward, what are the points we should ponder? Number one, as you have seen, major portion of agriculture costs are fixed for the period. For the most of these costs tend to remain fixed either for the gestation period of the crop. In case of sugarcane, it is 15 months, or for the entire agri season. Even if you don't grow the crop, you can't deny salaries to your attached labor. You cannot say that I don't support my family. You can't prevent the erosion of your agri implements. These costs are fixed, and opportunity benefits of agriculture are huge. In place of sitting at home, if I go and till the land and grow some crop, the benefits are very huge. And expenses incurred are in phases. That is from season to season, from plantation till harvesting. We keep on incurring expenses, maybe over a period of 4 months, maybe over a period of 10 months, or maybe over a period of 15 months, depending on the from crop to crop. But what happens is when agricultural loan is disbursed by the banks and financial institutions, farmer feels he is very rich and he spends the entire money without any plan. At the time of plantation itself, almost 75% of the loan is consumed, and he keeps on for looking for more and more loans. This is where our budgetary control, cash flow planning, etc., would be handy, and farmers need to be educated. And so is the case. His income comes in one go. After the cropping season is over, after he harvests the crops, he sells, and the entire money is received at one go. But suddenly he feels rich. He may not think that he needs to repay the loan because we are exempt to writes off, etc., etc. He says, yes, why not why not I engage myself in some luxurious consumption? If we can provide him a cash flow plan, he will think twice or thrice before spending a rupee. And last but not the least, MSP is common for the entire country. As in the previous presentation, it has been highlighted, from place to place, cost as also yields differ. Therefore, this aspect is to be overcome by some policy intervention. What can we do here? As a CMA, again, this is a small example, so CMA domain, crop mix. Crop mix could be, for example, if you grow cotton, it consumes 10 months in a year. In place of growing cotton, first crop is soybean, second crop is chana. You may earn more revenue. This is where a CMA can guide the farmer. Optimum crop mix. Optimum crop mix which can give you maximum MSP. Then budgetary control, as I was talking about, the moment you draw a bank loan, have a budgetary control. I would not like to draw the entire loan in one go. I would like to draw the loan in 4 stances, etc., etc. And need-based KPIs. What is that I'm getting for labor hour spent per kg of manure or per kg of seeds per acre? And performance evaluation. Am I able to generate reasonable income from the land held by me for the labor put in by my family members? Am I growing or is my wealth eroding? Am I able to get reasonable return on investment on the family wealth? All the factors which are being involved in cultivation, are they supporting me or not? Am I able to use them in a productive manner or not? This is all CMA's forte, which is being extended to service sector and manufacturing sector. The same can as well be extended to agriculture sector. And beyond the hand-holding period, many agriculture schemes are supported by subsidies. We look for subsidy, we go for that particular crop because subsidy is there. But after subsidy expires, what happens? This is where CMA can support by outcome plan, by business plan, by evaluation plan, and so on. This is a small example to explore the avenues for CMAs or to explain in what way CMA can be useful for agri cycles from sowing to reaping and perpetually. Now, FPOs are the order of the day. Government has planned about 10,000 FPOs as a part of doubling of the farmers' income. But let us look beyond the FPOs. Before the FPOs also, there was PLP, that is Potential Linking Plan, prepared by NABARD religiously for every district in the country or for over 600 districts. And based on this Potential Linked Plan, the district collector prepares his plan for the year. But the potential linked plan, how sincerely we are looking at it, how accurate is it? We have analyzed a couple of potential plans. Data is being repeated, costs are not updated. Therefore, the financing to the farmers is affected. Lead bank lends the finance to the bankers based on the computations in the potential linked plan. Unless the computations in the potential linked plan are done in a systematic manner, in a professional manner, they may be indicators, but they cannot be accurate with the result. Farmers are under-financed or over-financed. They are not properly financed. This is a big limitation. Let us have village and cottage industries we have been talking about. Why not promote agri enterprise development centers taluk-wise and micro agri enterprises village-wise? And we, the Indians, cherish our joint family system. Why not treat the entire village as one farmer corporate? We have 1 hectares of 14 crores of cultivators divided by 14 crore acres of cultivable land divided by 14 crores of cultivators. 1 hectare per cultivator. So why could there not be 14 crores of shareholders, each having 1 share? We can evolve a system whereby each village can be converted into a farmer's corporate. I am not talking about cooperative. And we can go for corporate farming at the village level itself. So our action points therefore would be treating the farmer as the producer. He's a producer. He's just not the farmer. He is converting seeds into harvest. Therefore, he's the producer. Farmer producer group as the profit center is a responsibility center. And FPO is the business unit which can have proper business plan, proper budgetary control, proper break-even point, and proper cost managers support. Evolve cluster-based agri-cost clinics which can help the FPOs, which can help the farmers, which can help the farmer corporates. evolve a mobile app to monitor the agri costs and revenues. Mobile has become a daily necessity. Let us make use of the mobile for monitoring the costs and revenues by each and every farmer. Conceive agri micro enterprises to make use of surplus agri labor which is hidden. The surplus agri labor is under the carpet which we do not know. It is an idle labor which has been ignored. Let us make use of these idle resources and consider state-wise compatible minimum support price and maximum selling price. By maximum selling price, many times middlemen loot the farmers and loot the consumers as well by selling at exorbitant prices and by paying very low prices. Therefore, like in pharma industry, there should be maximum selling price for agri produce also. And ultimately, evolving and implementing agri KPIs relevant for the agri sector. A word about the Agri Cost Management Board, even though CMA Harsha sir has stated something, I feel like putting forward to you all that in 2020, we have brought out a concept paper on augmenting the farmers' income roadmap for CMAs, and we have been celebrating 23rd December as Farmers' Day ever since. We have also brought out a few agri bulletins with research articles. We have undertaken the research on performance evaluation of FPOs. We have covered 200 FPOs across the country so far. And we are also carrying out research on compatible support price. And every May is being celebrated as Agriculture Month. And as Dr. Jain has put forward, we have evolved a diploma on agri cost management with IGNU, which is a unique diploma and which is of its first kind. And the momentum continues. Momentum started by CMA Raju Iyer is being taken forward by CMA Ashwin Dalwadi, and it continues further and further. With this, friends, I would say, Jai Ho Krishi Bal, Jai Ho Krishi Bal. आप है अन्नदाता, आप है वस्त्रदाता, आप है देश के भाग्य विधाता। हम है उत्पादन बढ़ाने वाले, हम है उत्पादन बढ़ाने वाले, हम है लागत बचाने वाले, हम है लागत बचाने वाले। आप जोड़े हमारे साथ, आप जोड़े हमारे साथ। भारत की भलाई के लिए, भारत की भलाई के लिए। जय हो कृषि बल, जय हो कृषि बल। So let us join together to reap more crop for each drop, agri cost management being the core success factor. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir, for your enlightening presentation that is full of enthusiasm and sharing your perception and giving us the connecting dots for effective farm cost management. Friends, I have a small request that participants can ask questions through chat box. Please do not raise hand or any voice questions because due to paucity of time, we won't be able to take those questions, but you can certainly ask through chat box. Now, I take the opportunity to invite Pro Vice Chancellor of IGNU, Professor Dr. Sumitra Pukreti, to give her remarks on the occasion. It's my pleasure to introduce Madam, an academician with more than 3 decades of experience. She holds M.Ed, M.Phil, PhD, and D.Litt in English literature from reputed universities. Her research interests include 20th century literature, Indian English literature, comparative literature, and gender and feminist concerns. She has served many teaching and administrative positions at renowned universities. She has authored 3 books and over 50 research papers in journals of national and international repute. She has also supervised 16 doctoral students while numbers are still being added. Over to Madam Pukreti.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Honorable Vice Chancellor IGNU and CMA, Professor Nageshwar Rao ji, CMA Dr. Raju Iyer, former President, CMA Harshad Deshpande, Chairman Agriculture Cost Management Board, Dr. Srihari Chava, Dr. Nandi, other distinguished guests from ICMAI, my fellow Pro Vice Chancellors, Director School of Agriculture, other directors from different schools, faculty, and all other intellectuals who have joined this webinar. At the outset, I would like to congratulate School of Agriculture for organizing this webinar in collaboration with ICMAI. Organizing this webinar to commemorate National Farmers' Day is a step that reminds us about farmers' significance not only in Bharatiya economy but even in our day-to-day life. On this occasion of National Farmers' Day, I second Dr. Chava in acknowledging the contribution of farmers and convey my salute to all the farmers of the country. As we all know that almost 60% of India's population depends on agriculture as its primary source of revenue. The sector contributes 18% of the national GDP, but this is a pity that large percentage of farmers are still unable to get adequate returns from their produce. We also know that our government is taking different initiatives to increase the income of farmers. Though the export market for agriculture produce is huge, yet there are many challenges which the sector has been facing since long. The farmers, due to one or the other reason, do not get better price for their produce. The fluctuations in the price of the produce affect the farmers greatly, but the agriculture cost management is determining factor most of the time. In order to address the challenges of growth and productivity and improve farmers' income, Indian agriculture needs technology-aided modernization of farming, and agri cost management can play very vital role in this direction. The present technology-driven age has opened up numerous market opportunities in the country. Market linkage, taking farmers' products directly to consumers, digital agriculture, access and transparency to information, effective storage and marketing, etc., are the advantages of technology. But despite all these technological advancements, reducing the cost of production, balancing demand and supply, speculating the market demands of a particular product produce are more essential to convert farming into lucrative profession. This is a wonderful opportunity to listen the stalwart from the sector of cost management. I'm sure these lectures will provide new insight and inputs to the school to make its programs more effective, particularly the programs which are related to agriculture. I sincerely appreciate the school for choosing the topic. It gives me immense pleasure to get an opportunity to listen Professor Nageshwar Rao as an expert on the subject. I'm sure that the school would definitely reap benefits from the valuable inputs and suggestions of eminent speakers. At last, I once again congratulate Director SOA and all other faculty of the school for this collaborative venture, this webinar. Wish you a happy day ahead. Thank you all.
अच्छा रात छुट्टी होती है
Over to you, CMA
अच्छा हाँ
Jyoti.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much. I request everyone to please mute yourself because someone's mic is giving some sound and it's disturbing, I think, everyone. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your valuable words and inspiring words. Friends, now it's time to hear address by the person who first time combined the agriculture and cost management, who thought of combining the cost management and agriculture for the first time. First chairman of this Agri Cost Management Board, none other than our past president, CMA Raju Iyer, sir. His blessings are always with us and guiding the path. Sir is a fellow member of the institute and practicing the profession. Associate member of the Institute of Company Secretaries of India and Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, UK. He has served the institute and at various positions, uh, including as president of the institute. Over to Raju sir.
Thank you very much. Good day to everyone. Respected Chairman, CMA Harshad Delpande, our Vice Chancellor, Professor Nageswar Rao, Pro Vice Chancellor, CMA Sumitra Reddy, our Vice President, CMA BB Nayak, CMA Sigari Sabha, CMA Jyotsna, and dear participants and other great personalities who are attending this meeting. It is a great pleasure to me for addressing you in this on the occasion of Farmers' Day. It's been celebrated by the Institute for the past 3-4 years, and support from Sigir Japan to Jyotsna is very much valuable. And a lot of members in the Agriculture Task Force have contributed a lot, and we are bringing every month bulletin also, and a lot of research and other things have been done in agriculture. How to enhance the agriculture farmers' income is being compiled in the bulletin. And agriculture is given great importance so that the farmers' income as well as the country's GDP will be going up. After our chairmanship of G20, the importance has been given to especially the millet. Millet and millet products has to be increased so that it will be enhancing the nutriency value and others for the public. In identifying in motivating the farmers for the new millet products and working them the cost management and how to optimize the cost and maximizing the nutritional value and profit, guiding the farmers suitable law and regulations so that they will be able to get all the benefits what is the government has announced and all the subsidies the government has provided. The institute and the IGNO has designed and prepared, as highlighted by C.L. Shiva, the course, and it will be very much beneficial as well as it will be improving the knowledge and technical skill required for youth to promote agriculture formation and maximizing strategical support for the agriculture. Farmers' income, the course has been designed and implemented from January 2024. I'm very much thankful to you after listening from all the experts. It is an excellent day for hearing from them various inputs. Thank you very much. Wishing you happy and healthy and prosperous New Year and Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, healthy days. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. It's always pleasure hearing you. And we always seek your blessings to continue our efforts in this field. Friends, IGNOU is a very known name. Every Indian knows about it. It is first open university in India constituted by an act of parliament in 1985. It is designated as the People's University. It has more than 300 courses in almost every known science, art, and knowledge stream at every level from certificate course to postdoctorate. It operates at a magnificent scale. It is our pleasure to have Vice Chancellor of such a big and prestigious institution with us for this program. And we always seek his blessings and thank for his constant support. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invite despite of your back-to-back busy schedules. Now, I take the opportunity to introduce Dr. Nageshwara Rao, Vice Chancellor of Indira Gandhi National Open University. It is a very proud moment to announce that sir is also a member of our institute. Sir is a qualified CMA and DPhil from the University of Allahabad. He is avid writer and has authored 8 books, including Administration of Public Enterprises in India and Communication Skills, to name a few. Before taking to the role of Vice Chancellor at IGNOU, Sir has held the position of Vice Chancellor at Uttarakhand Open University, Professor Rao also has additional responsibilities of director at the Indian Institute of Advanced Study, Shimla. Professor Rao is honored as a fellow at the Commonwealth of Learning, Canada. He was also conferred an honorary D.Litt by K.K. Handik Open University, Guwahati. He held the position of president at the Indian Accounting Association and was awarded the Saraswati Samman by the state government of Uttar Pradesh. He is also recipient of prestigious Nehru Literacy Award from the Indian Adult Education Association. So now I request Professor Nageshwara Rao to enlighten us on today's theme. Professor Nageshwara Rao, sir is not there. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Good evening to all of you. First of all, I'm happy to be associated with this webinar on a theme which is quite relevant to all of us for this special day, that is the Indian Farmers' Day. I was listening carefully to all the three distinguished keynote speakers, plus the comments of Raju Ayerji, former president of Institute of Cost and Management Accountants of India. As he is the person who thought about it, and now we are in a position to launch the program from January 2024. Being a cost accountant since 1983, I do deem it as a privilege to be associated with this activity. And I'm fortunate enough to be in the IGNU also, where I could see that both these institutions, they can join together and develop a program which is of quite useful to more than 60% of our population, catering to the needs of this developing economy. We know on 11th of December, Honorable Prime Minister has specifically launched a program, Vikasit Bharat, at the rate 1947. We all have to work together for this endeavor. I hope that you permitted me to share my own PPT. Is it so? Permission has been given?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. When this theme has come to me, putting the farmers first, agri cost management as the core success factor, I thought initially that how to respond to this particular theme as a keynote speaker. Because when I listened to Sri Hari Chhawaji, his articulation, his presentation, his contents, and the way forward, and my own colleague P.K. Jain, while presenting almost all the important statistics with respect to our farming sector, and again the initial comments which was given by CMA Harshad Shemkant Deshpandeji, it gives me immense pleasure to learn a lot on this momentous occasion. And at least I do feel that my colleague P.K. Jain and Chhawaji, they have done my work. and they are the distinguished speakers, and their address should be treated as the keynote address. Rather, what I speak, I do feel as an educationist, how I look at this entire scenario, especially when two great institutions they are joining to start a program on diploma in agri cost management. Because we both are in the field of distance education. Institute, we know that it has got greater mileage in terms of the reach and the quality. And our access is again more than 35 lakh learners existing with us today. And 38 lakh pass out students, it's a big family of 73 lakhs, reaching to all corners of the globe. And every year we admit around 12 lakh learners. And every 6 months we conduct examination for 10 lakh students. We are also having the online programs, and right now we are in 57 countries of the world. But this is a gray area, and for which the Institute has come forward to support this endeavor, and we jointly pledge that we must do something for the farmers, for the country, and let us see how we can move ahead. It's a difficult task, but still my colleagues in the School of Agriculture, they have done a great job. I may be a bit harsh in sharing my insights, but Swaminathanji, we all know in the field of agriculture his contribution. He inspires us that it is the backbone of the livelihood security system of nearly 700 million people of the country. And here, being an educational administrator, I know that our school has done a great job. But I do feel that some sort of gap between the learners and we, the educators, this is existing. We have to look at the learners. We have to look at the farmers. And to what extent we can meet the requirement of those farmers through this agri education system. And when I look at the past, I do have some statistics. I thought that these statistics I will show in the end. But after listening to the three distinguished speakers and also Honorable Past President Raju Ayerji, I thought that let us share it first so that both of us can see that how we can try to reach to these 700 million people of the country with this particular topic, particular theme, particular diploma, which is quite useful and relevant to them also. The history has told us that whenever any university, I'm not talking about the other universities, I'm just talking about our own institution. Because other universities in the country also who are in the field of agriculture, there also the numbers, they could not reach to the real farmers. It's because of that we always feel that there is something is to be added from our side. Maybe the language, maybe the content, maybe the presentation, maybe the thrust which needs to be relooked. This is my own school which has made sincere efforts to support this cause of agriculture for the last 10 to 15 years. It's working hard. And look at the programs which we are having and look at the enrollment which we are getting. As I have told you that we are 35 lakh learners right at this point of time. Every year we enroll 12 lakh learners. But when we look at the contribution of this agriculture related programs, the numbers they really tell us that how we can review or how we can connect with our farmers. There are six certificate programs. And once we see in the July session itself, the highest number is 328. And even when you look at the total of these 4 sessions, which is the last figure, none of them has crossed more than 700. Then we are having 5 diploma programs. There also the highest number is 560. Then we are having 5 postgraduate diploma programs. There also the highest number is 546 in the July 2023 session. Such a vast country. We are having more than 2,000 study centers and 58 regional centers all over the country, international presence, 35 lakhs, 38 lakh alumni. We have to do something more to see that how we can reach to these farmers, how to connect with these farmers with the effort which we are making, and what are the gaps. And for those gaps, we have to see that how we can address those gaps. My PPT is somewhat long and stretchy, but I am simply focusing on some of the issues on which if we can devote some time to make it more simpler, more easier, so that we can connect with our farmers, their background, their exposure to the agricultural activities, and how much time they can devote to these entire activities. And I have seen that some of the inputs which Sri Hariji has made, they can be quite relevant to all of us. Even if we are launching this program from January 2024, still the scope is there. We can read it again, we can review it again, we can make the things simpler, and we can see that can we add some more things or can we delete some more things, so that our connect with the learners, it should be connect with the farmers, it should be of better reach, better access, and having the quality also. So that is the background on which I would like to share some piece of information which was picked up from the diploma which we are launching from January 2024, because the prestige of both the institutes are involved, because you're also launching this first program for the farmers, and we also know that there are farmers issue for the last 6 months or 8 months, for the last 1 year, and farmer unrest was going on, and how we can address those issues also, because farmers, they still find that the issue, the income loss which they are having, the cost escalation which is going on, how to look into it, and what are the areas where they should focus upon. So this is a big issue on which we all have to look into. This is the backdrop against which I would like to share some of the information which I have got it from the programs and also my own exposure to this system. I would like to share one small piece of information about myself also. I was being asked to teach profit and loss account balance sheet to my son who was in class 11th. And I finished my course to him in 10 days. He spoke to his mother saying that how this man is popular in teaching this particular subject in the departments and in the university also. What it basically conveyed, I could not connect that boy who is in the class 11th. Then I was being asked to teach the IIT students for BTech. I was being asked to teach BCom students, the same topic, the financial statements. I was being asked to teach the management students. I was being asked to teach the senior faculty and then the FDP. And this particular instance of class 11th of my son has forced me to think that look at the target learners. I have to adjust my pedagogy, my learning material, my contents to the requirements of our target learners. Maybe here also I do feel that there is a need to look at our own contents, our own language, our own focus, our own thrust to the target learners so that we can get the best possible result with the efforts which our faculty and the institute they all are making. I have tried to divide my presentation into 6 parts, but I will not take much of your time in looking at these presentations because most of these things they are very, very routine, and normally we say that putting the farmers first. But here I am telling you that this we have to keep in mind while providing the education also. We have to reach to the farmers, then only we can say putting the farmers first. Someone has raised a question that how the contribution of the farmers is going to help us to make our economy 5 trillion. Yes, if we use this education, agricultural education to the farmers, then definitely their contribution in the 5 trillion economy will be much, much more. Then then the statistics, everyone knows about it. 2/3 of the workforce, 17% of GDP. We are having so many regions, 100 crops. I'm not talking about all those things, but farmers first, from the point of view of education, from the point of view of connect, and from the point of view of our diploma. At least I do have a target of at least 5,000 learners in the first enrollment, in the first enrollment session of January 2024. Then at least we are making some attempt to reach to the farmers first. That is the thrust. Definitely, they are integral part. World's largest area planted for wheat, rice, cotton. Why I'm saying all these things? Our examples of cost management, of cost accounting, they should center around wheat, rice, cotton. When we talk about the fixed cost, variable cost, it should talk about fruits, vegetables, tea, fish, cotton, the things which are relevant to the farmers. Only they are to be discussed in the examples. And they are to be put in such a simple way so that this farming sector, they can understand those basics, and those basics they can be implemented in their workplace also. Knowledge and skills. Farmers, they're having the skills, and that is inherent because they work in the field. They know that what is farming. Of course, that technical knowledge or maybe the academic knowledge is not with them. If that is being supplemented with them, they can do wonders. And that is what we all have to see to it. We must involve some people who are the real farmers with respect to the development of this knowledge part. I don't know to what extent this particular issue it was being kept in mind while developing the course material. If we try to include those people in developing the study material for them, then I think the knowledge part, it can be much, much better, and proper connect with the farmers, it can also be ensured. This is our diploma, and it has got basically 6 courses. I'm not talking about it, the courses specifically. I have just, since our thrust is that costing, because cost, the farmers, they never think about it. They do not know how much money they have spent. They do not know that how much revenue they are getting. They are getting money, they get it, but they never compare the revenue and the cost. They never see that how much surplus they are getting it. This is the common sense which most of the farmers, they go for it without understanding the basics of the cost. They do not know what is fixed cost. They do not know what is the material cost. They spend money. And if money is not with them, they take the loans. They don't look at the cost of raising the funds, but they go for it. Nicely developed structure. And I'm happy that at least two particular courses they have attached with respect to the costing aspects. Very appreciable step which both the institutes they have taken in developing this program, and we see that lots of insights we can get it. But I am just looking into those curricula. There I found that how those examples they have been presented, because the contents, the simplicity, and how they are to be understood by the farmers. That should be the core factor. Rightly said, cost management is the core success factor, and this is the theme of our webinar also. And I have seen the classifications also. Of course, as a cost accountant and as a student of even BCom also, we all know that these are the classifications and we all know it very well. But rarely, while explaining these examples, we thought of giving importance to the details with respect to the farming sector. Cost classification, pre-production cost, production cost, post-production cost. This is easier for a farmer to understand, because before production, how much he has spent it, during production activities, how much he is spending, and how much he is going to spend later on in terms of disposing of that agriculture production. But when you talk about this functional classification, behavioral classification, or classification as per time, long term or short term, then it becomes very difficult for anyone, especially the farmers, to understand our comprehension. I don't know to what extent this has been tutored or this has been reviewed to suit to the requirements of the farmers, but the efforts need to be made time and again. And it is again a lengthy process. Again, we have to do it again and again, because our mindset is such that we are now attuned to the higher education, MSc, BSc. We rarely look at the people who are working as farmers and what language they can understand. And that is to be looked at very, very carefully. This is what I have seen it from the material cost classification by relation to the cost center, direct, indirect. What are the direct costs? What are the indirect costs? I think some explanations they have been given. Material, labor expenses. Yes, but while pinpointing these costs, while segregating these costs, we must specifically keep in mind the specific costs of farming. Do not try to put the costs which are being used in industrial establishments. All the textbooks available in that context, they only talk about the industrial establishments. They talk about the manufacturing activities. They rarely talk about the production activities of the farmers. So that focus is, and that too in simpler language, because I have seen that some of the sentences, some of the phrases which have been used in the material, they are relatively difficult for a farmer to understand and comprehend. Production, research and development. I think research and development is a difficult phrase for a farmer, but still it was there, because normally if you put the difficult words there, research and development, I think only 1% of the farmers they talk about it, because mechanization of farmers, once it is being advocated in US, they used to talk about it, but in Indian scenario, this particular scenario, it should not be overemphasized. Production costs are there. That is more important for them. And here we have to see that how much focus we can give on the production costs. Selling and distribution, they are not in a position to distinguish much, because for which the MSP issue is coming up in a big way. I'm not discussing that issue at this point of time, but segregation is okay, but try to focus mostly on the production costs. Then again, fixed cost, variable cost. This is very, very important for a farmer. they do not know what is fixed cost, what is variable cost. They purchase bullock carts. Fixed cost, variable cost, they never look into it. Semi-variable cost, they don't look into it. And even for them also only two costs, they are more important, fixed and variable cost. Don't make it complicated, and there is no need to tell that what are the methods through which we segregate the semi-variable cost into fixed and the variable cost. The things should be simple at the diploma level. There is no need to put the complex concepts which we all know as a cost accountants. We all know as a commerce postgraduate, as a PhD in the field of commerce and accounting. We must make the things simpler. That is my focus. Similarly, they are the concepts, they are mostly being used in the industry, and in almost all the textbooks they talk about it. But can we focus? Can we restrict some of these costs with respect to the farmers so that initial focus of these people, they can understand that process costing, is it important for them? Contract costing, is it important for them? Batch costing, is it important for them? We have to see maybe the operation cost that is not required at this stage. So we have to see that what concepts they are more relevant to them, adding more and more conceptual background of a conventional manufacturing organization. That will create more problem to the farmers to understand this comprehension. Maybe at the level of post-graduation level, once both the institutes they think together, then we can think on those lines. Here also historical cost, predetermined cost, standard cost, estimated cost. Okay, I'm not touching much about it because historical cost is actual the cost has been incurred, estimated what has been estimated. But here also we must try to give the examples with respect to the farmers, and that too with the simple terms which they all can use it. This is very, very important. I'm happy that at least this part it has been associated in this diploma program, cost of cultivation, operational costs and fixed costs. The segregation, it has also been done. And maybe much more simpler way, we can see that how these things, they can be presented. Human labor, bullock labor, machinery charges. At least now the person can understand. Bullock labor, अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है, hired भी हो सकता है, owned भी हो सकता है. अच्छा, human labor, casual, attached, family, mostly family, that is more important with respect to operational cost, for which the cost cannot be ascertained. But other costs like seeds, fertilizers, insecticide, irrigation charges, crop insurance, at least some linkage with that activity of the farmers, it is being exhibited. I'm happy that this is going to touch with their major concerns to which they all are looking into it. Purchase of insecticides, fertilizers and manure. Here also we can see that how much percentage of cost they should incur with respect to these activities. What will be included in the miscellaneous? Interest, I don't know, working capital or even the fixed capital. They do not distinguish. They are not in a position to understand also what is the fixed capital and the working capital. Fixed costs, rental value of own land, rent paid for leased land, land revenue, cess and other taxes, depreciation, interest on fixed capital. So many things, interest on fixed capital, interest on working capital. These differences, they cannot differentiate much, but at least some basic thrust it is being exhibited there. And this can further be strengthened because that is very, very important for them. They have to understand that how much fixed costs they are incurring without any result. The operating costs and fixed costs, both are to be spent to have the total cost structure, and that is to be compared with the revenue. And that is why later on when we talk about the break-even analysis, those things, they will give clarity to the farmers that how they can look at this cost processes for them. Agro cost sheet. These are the things, because again, this has been presented nicely here. But again, I see that harvesting, threshing, English, and here if you can add some Hindi phrases also in between, that may be helpful to them. Veterinary services, depreciation, utilities, direct, indirect costs, then labor costs, other costs. So don't uh, put those difficult areas which are not quite relevant to uh, 60 to 70% of the farmers. Uh, Packaging, labeling, I don't know how many farmers they are going for it. Packaging and labeling, this is meant for the, or you can segregate the issues for the big farmers and maybe the small farmers, because our program, which is affordable to the learners, that is going to reach to those farmers who are marginal farmers, who are not getting much income through this farming activity. So that focus should be there in our program. Now, this is the cost sheet. This is very difficult to understand for any farmer. Even for me also, it took a lot of time, being a cost accountant, to understand that how all these things have been put at one place. We have to prepare smaller cost sheets, putting only the major headings, and then later on you can elaborate it: cost sheet 1, cost sheet 2, cost sheet 3, cost sheet 4. So simpler version that should be focused, and so that the farmers, they can understand its structure more effectively. I've seen that it is going to stretch 2 to 3 pages. I'm not looking at the contents, but look at the details, because everywhere look into it: cost of goods manufactured, the closing finished goods stock, factory cost. It is factory is not there. It is agriculture. It is the farmers. So that basic trust, the material should focus. Then we can reach to them. Otherwise, once we look at the factory, then anyone can say, "Acha, it is not relevant to us. It is not relevant to us." Administration overheads. You say that if you are putting all these words, then that will not help the farmers to go for it. Cost of cultivation of paddy per hectares. You see to it. I have nothing to say about it, but make it simpler, make it easier, make use only those words, those phrases which are quite useful to our farmers, who are the future of this nation, who are going to help us in reaching this 5 trillion economy target, which we are going to achieve in the near future. The same calculations you see, it's a long process of putting the calculations. Initially, you put a small table showing cost of cultivation of paddy per hectare, only major headings, combined harvester, then individual harvester. So don't put those things. Maybe at a later stage, these things can be added, because my focus in the entire presentation is look at the farmers, look at the target learner, and how we can simplify our contents to suit to his requirement. They are not the big farmers. They are not the farmers who are using the mechanized way of doing the things. So for them, we have to prepare those things. They are very useful techniques, and we all use it, especially in industry. But they do have relevance to the farmers also. Marginal costing. It talks about the distinction between the fixed and the variable cost. What it says, that marginal cost, every additional cost, every additional unit which you are producing, how much it is costing us, and at least minimum we must recover that marginal cost from the learner. And the decision making process, we do it with the help of marginal costing only. Break-even analysis, again here, the fixed and variable cost, that tells us that how to go for it. It talks about the margin of safety. But these are the concepts which you have to present before the farmers in such a way, so that they may also understand, अच्छा हमने जो फिक्स्ड पे खर्च किया है उसको अभी परेशान ना हो, हमें एटलीस्ट वी हैव टू रिकवर द एडिशनल कॉस्ट विच यू आर इनकरिंग टू प्रोड्यूस एनी एडिशनल यूनिट. मार्जिन ऑफ सेफ्टी हमारा कितना है? So those things they have to be understood. Budgetary control, no need to talk about too much. Standard control, standard costing control, no need to talk about too much detail. Zero-based budgeting, yes. Make it simpler. Don't tell them that last year you have spent this much, this year you have to spend 20% more. Don't say like that. Last year you spent that much, this year you see that, again review the expenditures. Presuming that every money which you are spending, it must have the justification. That is why the zero-based budgeting we are talking about it. But it should be explained by keeping in mind the usefulness, the utility to a farmer in terms of understanding the costs. Budgets, you can go for it, but simpler structures, it is going to help us. Then agri insurance, yes, crop insurance, it is there. It is an important aspect because lots of money our agriculturists they lose. So it is an important area and government is also supporting it, and it should be elaborated, and it has been elaborated in the material also. Models for farmer welfare, going beyond the cost. Of course, it is not the part of our diploma program, but this is the framework which we all have to keep in mind when we are developing a program, especially for the farmers. Of course, the emphasis is on the cost, but overall, the farmers' interest, farmers' welfare, that needs to be looked into. Then you know that recently welfare schemes they have come up. They are the 4 or 5 major schemes. They have been launched in the last 4 or 5 years. And look at every scheme is going to help the farmers. Can we elaborate it? Can we explain them? Because they are still not knowing much about it. Can we make them aware, even if it is not related to our diploma? But if we put these course, if we put these schemes in our introductory part or in the first course or in the second course, then most of these farmers they will be benefited because they are not knowing much of these schemes. Government is seriously interested to reach to them, but our reach will be much better if both the institutes they join together. That this education program must reach to the doorsteps of every farmer. Then we must propagate this area also. Way forward, I have tried to put some of the aspects which I felt this is very important for helping our farmer to move ahead. Areas with respect to education, agriculture education, and cost management. Why agriculture insurance? Because cost, education, insurance, minimum support price, cost control, additional income opportunities, and for which additional income opportunities, Sri Hariji has given vivid description about those areas. So it should not be restricted to small compartments. We have to think in beyond that, and farmers' welfare as a whole, it should be looked into. Thank you very much for giving me a patient hearing. I know that I have taken a lot of your time, and my focus was somewhat different. I am just my focus is that how to connect with the farmers. Even if we could connect 5,000 farmers in the first session, 2,000 farmers in the first session, maybe more the modest target, our purpose will be achieved because in the long run, we have to reach to the larger number of farmers. Otherwise, our entire effort will go waste. So access, and connect, connect, connect with the farmers. That should be our motto on this eve of this Farmers' Day or the Agricultural Day. And this will be the right occasion on which we must take a pledge that we must make all efforts to see that this program will reach to all farmers, their doorsteps of the country. And we do have Swayam Prabha channel with us, through which we are going to deliver lectures in Hindi also. That lectures we can also deliver in mother tongues also. Maybe the material is available in English, but the purpose of reach we are going to address by using our own channels, and also our teachers, our regional centers, they all will add to the flavor of this particular program so that its ultimate benefit it may reach to all. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks for enlightening us and declaring this Diploma in Agri Cost Management course, which is a joint program by Institute of Cost Accountants of India and IGNOU. And of course, this program should have a wider reach if we are able to reach to the farmers and learners can understand, and they like their take home can be good, then this will prove to be a very wonderful program, and I think most of the farmers would like to take up this. So we have one question. uh, Somebody is asking, is MSP set by state helping farmers or otherwise in current situations? Can someone help this answer this question? Chava sir or
MSP, if set by the state, then it will be implementation problem. So that's why it is the set by the central level.
Dr. Jain, you are muted.
Yes.
So please unmute yourself or
MSP, I do feel it has nothing to do with the farmers. And once they understand the cost structure, once they understand the difference between the cost and the revenue, then all these issues, they will be sorted out. Because most of the issues which are coming up because of the ignorance, they are spending a lot. They do not know how much money they have spent for their production activity. But when they get the revenue, they find it is insignificant, it is very less. So once they calculate the cost effectively and they find out the gap between the two, and wherever the monitoring may not be possible, the government support may be helpful. But in every instance, this support, it is of little use to them.
thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now I request CMA Dr. DP Nandi, Senior Director of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, to propose a formal vote of thanks.
Thank you, madam. So we are just on dot on time. My time schedule was 6.25. Now it is 6.28. So that's great. So we are blessed today to have with us our own member, Professor Nageshwara Raoji, Vice Chancellor of IGNOU. So with his guidance and with his blessings, we are going to start this course. It's a long venture for last 1.5 years or so. I was from the very beginning, I was with this project, and now it is going to be started very soon. So today we have missed our President Sir, in absentia of our President Sir, and our Vice President Sir, already he joined, CMA Vibhushan Naik ji, Chairman of Agricultural Cost Management Board, CMA Harshad Pandey ji, Director of IGNOU, Professor Praveen Kumar Jain ji, Madam Professor Shumita Kukreti ji, Pro Vice Chancellor of IGNOU, and our own Srihori Chava sir, a member of ICMI, this Cost Management Board, and all the participants and all the professors, research scholars who are present here, our members. I'm just formally giving propose the vote of thanks to end this program. It's an excellent. Acha sir, our past president Raju Ayer sir is also here. Sir, very good evening to all sir. And so it's a very great experience to listen from two very senior person, Vice Chancellor sir and COD sir. So all are enriched. I'm getting the messages in the message box. All the members and professors, they are sending messages for the presentations. And now it is the challenge for us how to take it forward the course for the benefit of the farmers. And what Vice Chancellor sir has already suggested, through different centers of IGNOU, we have to seize the opportunity to reach to the unreached. So with this, I would like to propose the vote of thanks and for the ending of this session. So Josna madam, if any further proceedings, you just carry on, madam, please.
Thank you, Nandi sir. Thank you so much. And thanks for giving a big support for entire work of carrying out this Agri Cost Management diploma course. So thank you very much. And I once again thanks everyone. And let's stand for national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Jai Hind.
Thank you, Nageshwar Rao sir. Thank you, Praveen
You,
Kumar sir.
Thank you to all.
everyone.
Thank you all.
And
Thank you, sir.
I thank once again everyone, and good night, and wish you a very Merry Christmas and a very Happy New
Thank
Year.
you.
Thank you, everyone.
And most thankful to you, madam, for being such a nice host.
Actually,
Thank you very
I've
much.
sent a memento could not be, I don't know whether it is stuck there or not. Jain sir?
Yeah, yeah.
Praveen Kumar Jain.
Yeah, we have 100 hours to sir. Sir, office.
Give it to
We have
Vice
100.
Chancellor sir?
Yes, yes, we have 100 hours to sir office.
No.
Then, sir, one small request.
Sir,
Visitors' comments are very appropriate.
very correct.
We have to look into with all seriousness.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
That's
much.
why, yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Raju. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Raju.
Thank you, sir.
थैंक यू सर
Exit कैसे करना है? Let's go.
Thank you, thank you, thank you all.
थैंक यू राजू सर